introduce you to Al and his 1996 Infiniti G20T. The T stands for touring, in case you didn't know. That touring allocation would be one of the core inspirations for his build. A little history: the Infiniti G20 is a compact sedan that is based on a Nissan Primera. And if you ask yourself, well, what is a Primera? That is because we didn't have them here in the United States. Like with what Honda did with Acura, Toyota with Lexus, Nissan released its higher end models under an alias brand, Infiniti. Now before I get too far on a tangent, let's talk about Al's car. One of the things that I immediately appreciated was how understated the exterior is. From the front, it looks like a normal daily driver, just waiting in the garage for a daily commute or to run errands. But as you circle around it, then you realize that something's going on with this car. What would a non-car person know about TEs? And this thing is definitely lowered. Yep, those are StopTech calipers. See, now I have to go and find the owner. At least that's what you would say if you were at a meet or in a parking lot somewhere. Luckily for me, I was able to hear this story.
I had one like it years ago that I never built. I ended up selling it to a close friend of mine and ended up buying an 06 G35 4-door 6-speed. I never built it. And then a couple years ago, I found this one in South Seattle, and forest green, black leather, manual, touring model, just like I owned years ago. And I remembered how much I loved that car, so I decided I had to build it.
So you had one, and then you got a newer model, and then you came back to it.
Yeah, exactly. I actually owned a 91 before that in college. It was a tan automatic. And that was also tons of fun, even though it was automatic. I think back then I was afraid of manuals or something. Anyway, I made it to a manual and eventually got this one and started building it. Naturally, kind of just fell into the whole Nissan Datsun thing. The reason I'm into this car to begin with was, when I was young and growing up and I didn't have money and I didn't own a car, but I was into cars. The next best thing I could gravitate to was watching racing on TV, and they had programs that used to cover Speed Vision. You remember that channel? Used to cover BTCC Racing, British Touring Car Championship. And the P10s were kicking butt all over the place. And again, I don't know why, but the Nissan thing clicked for me, and I remember those cars and I was always into them. And that's why I ended up getting that automatic 91 and then ended up getting the 95, same color combo and everything like this one. And then, life happens and you move on. And then, again, back to the Craigslist search, I found one. I was like, oh, I gotta get it. So I went up to Seattle. I lived in Portland at the time. Went up to Seattle, negotiated with the guy, got it really, really cheap, and then just stuck it in the corner and then try to figure out how to build it.
That's awesome.
So the exterior is almost untouched. The color is a nice subtle forest green, and this is the original paint, so it shows some wear, but considering the age, I'd say it's in really good condition. Now you have to get close to it to uncover some of these gems. Obviously the wheels stand out. They are powder coated 16x7 Volk Racing TE37s with an offset of +42, and they have Firestone Firehawk Indies 205/45/16 tires mounted to them. The brakes are StopTech STR42 calipers with Wilwood rotors, stock tip sport pads, and steel braided lines. Now you can tell by the way that the car sits that this is the driver's car. All around are Fortune Auto 500 series coilovers with hypercoil springs and a rear adjustment extender. To transfer forces during cornering, he has a carbon rear strut bar, a Stillen front strut bar, and Atco rear sway bar. The rear control arms are from Turbo FX, and the camera adjustment components are from Cusco. There are many piling and bushings, and the suspension was set up by West End Alignment in Gardena, California, and they dialed it in beautifully. And one of the first things I did when I saw the car was get low to see if I can get a peek at the underbody, and I was greeted by a local performance skid plate. This thing is all about function, and it is awesome. But this car isn't as popular as some of the other 90s Japanese cars. So sourcing parts can be difficult. Sometimes it takes scouring the internet and linking up with other people who share the same appreciation for your particular vehicle just to get the job done.
So you want to give anybody any shout outs, like people that helped you along the way or people you learned from?
Yeah, Juan Ramirez. He's if you're in a Nissan community, if you're in the Sentra, right? B13, B14, B15, all those Nissan guys. He's deep in that community. He's also deep in the Infiniti G20 community as well. He's got a shop, BlipShiftApex, as well, with him and his crew that helped me do the engine swap. He's helped me do the brake upgrade. He's basically built this whole car, let's face it. He's done everything to it. He lives out in California, so we kind of plan the evolution, if you will. I just got it back recently, so it's gone through 2 sessions with him. The first session was obviously the motor swap, the tranny, the rest of the suspension components like the control arms. We had to go to these TE37s. Why not? TE37 everything.
Right.
I could probably show you the other set of wheels that I had before, but yeah, these tend to fit the bill with the whole ethos of just lightening everything, make everything light as possible, and make it high revving as possible.
Awesome.
And if you were listening, I revealed that the G20 had an engine and transmission swap. So let's look under the hood. The original engine was an SR20VE, putting out around 140 horsepower with 134 foot-pounds of torque with a very respectable 7,500 RPM redline. Now the swapped engine is an SR20VE equipped with N1 SR16 Cams, ATI Damper, JWT pop charger, Fujitsubo headers, VRS 3-inch exhaust, an MSD VVL controller, and all that is managed by a Nissan Type 4 board. So what does that translate to? An output of 197 horsepower and 150 foot-pounds of torque with an 8,300 RPM redline. For reference, that's like going from a base model Acura Integra to the highly coveted Integra Type R with an improved suspension and brake system. And the Al's car also has a short ratio 5-speed transmission equipped with an upgraded clutch, flywheel, and an OEM LSD. All in all, this car is fun. How do I know? Because I drove it. So we know Al's build was inspired by watching the BTCC races, but how does he know what he wants in a driving experience? He drives race cars. I met Al and his teammates from Eurotek Motorsports at Speed Vegas on an open track day. They participate in various leagues such as the Lucky Dog Racing League and Lemons. They service, build, and race everything from DC5 Integras, E46 BMWs, to high-end Audis, Mercedes, and whatever else you can think of. So check them out and I'll put a link in the description. Now that we are familiar with the car, let's learn a little more about Al and play a game that is sure to have some of you either laughing or possibly shedding a tear.
All right, so what motorsports are you into?
So into a lot of different styles of motorsports, but I think my favorite is obviously Formula One. Me and my mom watch Formula One racing. Obviously, with COVID, we're a little bit separated now, but Formula One is the first one that I'm into. And then behind that, obviously, American Le Mans Series, all types of endurance racing is what I'm into.
Awesome. So would you consider yourself a hardcore racer, or you're definitely a driver, obviously, but what is your mindset when you go into racing series or events or anything of that nature?
Wow, I haven't really talked about it that way. There's definitely the competition aspect of it because I ran track in high school, I played football, so there's definitely
Competitive.
There's a competitive edge to my mindset and what I'm into, and certainly that automatically gravitates into endurance racing, right? You just want to compete. But you know, also for me, it's sort of turned into this thing that I turn into a different person when I'm in a race car. I'm in race conditions. I'm on track. Yes, I'm door-to-door racing, but I'm chasing, you know, that beautiful lap where you feel like you're flying. You know, you mean you're hitting the brake zones and you're sending the car the right way.
It feels right.
Yeah, it's just you're just chasing that, and you know that has turned into like me wanting to do my stints.
So, what's your favorite feature of the vehicle?
You know, favorite feature is really not one thing. It's really, you know, the driving experience. I hope that, you know, I'm lucky to get other people to drive the car and give me that same type of feedback, but it is the driving experience. It's the whole package. And what I mean by that is, you know, getting up in the morning and having to just commute to work, you know, having just to go through the gears, or, you know, if you're going for a long drive and it's a spirited drive, you've got gears, RPM, right? This thing revs to 8,300 RPMs now. So you got a lot of runway there. It's well balanced. So I would say the whole package, and you kind of have to drive it to know what I'm talking about.
Understood.
Okay team, it's that time again to play another game. This game is called Cruise or Crush. The rules are pretty straightforward. I'll put up two vehicles on the screen. Now you gotta choose to cruise one and crush the other. Here's the thing, the vehicles that get crushed, they are gone forever. It's not just one vehicle, it's the entire line of vehicles. It could be an entire model, or it could be year specific, depending on how I phrase the question. So therefore, choose wisely, but choose fast, because you do have a 5-second limit. And of course, have fun.
Okay.
All right.
This is a horrible game. This is a horrible crush cars.
It's hard for car guys. Yeah, man. When I see those videos online, I'm just like, why are you doing this to me? All right. So the first one, Honda Civic or Volkswagen Golf?
Cruise a Civic, crush the Golf.
VW people.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
My girlfriend has a VW Bug, TDI, manual, hammered on forged coilovers. I still like it.
So what you're saying is the Golf is the same as the Bug. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much.
All right. So the next one, Toyota Supra or the Ford Mustang?
Ooh.
They're gone forever.
Oh, we're talking LX?
The whole line.
The whole line?
The whole line.
Oh, man.
Got 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. I gotta go with the Supra?
Gonna cruise the Supra?
Yeah.
Oh, Ford Mustang.
I'm sorry. I love the LX. I love the LX Fox body Mustangs.
Yeah, Fox bodies, man. They get you. All right, so next, the Chevy Corvette or the Nissan GTR?
Chevy Corvette or a Nissan GTR.
Who you cruising with? Who you cruising with?
Of course I'm going GTR. I'm a Nissan guy. Sorry.
Say goodbye to the Corvette.
Sorry.
All right. So this is the last easy question.
Okay.
So we got Porsche 911.
Porsche 911.
Or a BMW M3.
Ooh.
5.
Look.
4.
I've driven E30s and I've been in a 996 twin turbo. It's gotta be Porsche.
You're cruising with the Porsche.
I'm cruising with the Porsche.
Goodbye M3 forever. All right. So now we're getting to specific vehicles. So we have a BMW E30 M3 or a Mercedes 190e Evolution. Who are you cruising with?
The E30, because I've driven an E30 and oh my God.
All right, so this is the last and final question. It's a super easy question. I'm sure everybody watching is gonna think it's an easy question too. Are you cruising and crushing the Ferrari F40 or McLaren F1? Gone forever.
That's not fair. How do you decide? How do you decide? How do you make a decision? How do you make a decision?
I don't know, but you got 5.
I get, because the La Passion in the Ferrari F50 is why you cruise it and you crush the McLaren F1. Ugh.
Are you sure? It's F40, by the way, not the F50. F40.
Oh, still, that's what I'm. Sorry, yeah, okay. F40. You cruise the F40 because of the passion that's in there.
All right, man.
And you gotta. I mean, you don't have a choice. You gotta kill one. So yeah, bye McLaren. Sorry.
Oh.
That new T50 is dope though.
All right. So final question: any wise words for a new enthusiast?
Wise words for a new enthusiast. I mean, follow your passion. I think, whatever you're into now, just follow that, and go down that rabbit hole, right? Because obviously, there's high horsepower cars out there. There's low horsepower cars. You could be into Hondas. You can be into Ford Mustangs. Be into whatever you're into. Mini trucks, whatever. Be into it fully, learn from it, enjoy the sport, enjoy the hobby, enjoy the community that's part of it, and learn from it. And then that'll take you, either you stay there or you kind of check out other things.
Awesome. You hear that, people? Never stop learning. I didn't even have to tell them to say that. There you go.
And there you have it, folks. Self-reflection, being open-minded, and staying humble lead you to becoming a better you. And I hope everyone enjoyed this segment of Project Projects. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Rocking Uploads channel, where Team Never Stop Learning continues to grow. So until next time, stay tuned and thanks for watching.